this month I wanted to show you how I made the flowers on this card. I'm going to be doing a technique called Watercolor Batik, and let's get started and I'll show you how I do it. The first thing you want to do is you want to take a die cut, or you can use your Cricut, and you want to cut out a shape. Today I'm using the Delightful Dahlia die, and I went ahead and cut one out. And the next thing you want to do is you want to take the stamp that goes with it, and you want to ink that up with a Versamark, just like so. Then you want to stamp your stamp on the die cut, and you've got to line it up. Hopefully you can see how I'm lining it up. Somebody told me a good trick for stamping this is to do it on a dark color cardstock, and it really seems to help with that. Okay, so there you have that. Okay, now you're going to take your clear embossing powder, and I got a piece of scratch paper. We're just going to pour it on top of that, and now I'm just going to go ahead and tap it off like so. I'm going to go in and just do a little bit more, just like that. Now let's get this out of the way, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to emboss it with my heat gun. Okay, just like that. Now, I know you probably can't see very well. Let me go forward and see if you guys can see it a little bit better. Actually, let me just, you can see it, there you go. Now you can see that it's embossed clear. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do is I want to take some watercolor crayons, and I'm just using these ones from Stampin' Up! I believe I'm using Orchid, Opulence, let's see, Lovely Lilac, and I think it's Elegant Eggplant. And what I want to do is I want to take my water brush, and I'm just going to get some water in it. Just going to get it wet. And then what I want to do is I want to take it and I want to wet my crayon. And I'm starting with the lightest color. And then you're just going to paint the lightest color over the top of it. So let me get some more, a little bit more, and now I'm just going to go over the whole thing with my lightest color, just like this. Let me go forward a little bit more. There we go. Now you can see it better. You can see that the embossing is just popping right out. You just go ahead and keep adding more water, because you want this one to be really, really, really light. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with the second color, and I'm going to pick different petals, and I'm just going to highlight the different petals with the darker color. I'm just going to paint them. Just going to randomly pick different petals and pick them and add the color. Okay, now I'm going to go back in and do the same thing with the darkest color. This is the Elegant Eggplant, I believe. And if you want the color to be darker, don't use as much water. You'll see as once I go back in here. You can also keep adding layers to this as it dries. But for time's sake, we're going to just kind of do this pretty quickly here. So as you can see, you just keep playing with it, just adding different areas of color until you're happy with it, just like that. So now the next thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and get an iron, and you want to go ahead and heat it up, and you want to turn it on pretty high and get an ironing board just like this. And now you're going to take a piece of copy paper and you're going to put it, oops, let me back this up a little bit here. Piece of copy paper, and we're going to put it on top of the flower that we've just done. Okay, now you're going to take your iron, make some room here, back this up some more. Oops, going the wrong way. Okay, and now you're going to just iron on top of that flower and keep it moving. Keep it moving. And eventually you're going to start to see that embossing powder. Let's see if you guys can see this. Let me go back forward again. See how you can see the embossing powder starting to come up? That's what you're looking for. So then just keep ironing it and keep it moving, because you do not want to burn the paper, until you see that outline on your copy paper. And this is just regular copy paper that you use to print on for your printer. Okay, now you're just going to peel that off. Let me get all this out of here, and I will show you exactly, next to the black background, what it looks like. So now, as you can see, let me forward us up again. Oops. Back it up again. Hopefully you guys can see this now. Now you can see the flower. We've taken off the embossing powder and we've been left with the white lines that shows the definition of where the shape is. So let me go back to the other card, the one that's already been done. You can see this one's a lot darker because I played with it a lot more. But anyways, that is how you do it. So I hope you have enjoyed learning how it's done. If you have any questions, let me know. You can also do batik with watercolor mister sprays. There's all kinds of different variation on batik. So if you give it a try, let me know. I'd love to see what you do. And thanks for stopping by.